Yesterday, I asked two volunteers to say what teaching on discipleship comes out clearly in this particular text. So the two people I asked. Randy,
Be like servants, Father.
we like servants, okay? And the other one, who is the other one?
Peter.
Peter!
Vigilant daybreakers.
Vigilant. Very good. Very good. Two words really come out very clearly, aside from the ones that you said, and two words is being vigilant and being diligent. That reminds you of another parable, isn't it? About vigilance. You remember the parable about vigilance? Remember? The 10 virgins. 5 of them were considered foolish. Why were they foolish? They did not prepare. Why did they not prepare? Because they were distracted. And we can sometimes experience that in myself, because I often forget things, And, am I getting forgetful? Sometimes I ask myself, this is the beginning of dementia or what? But if you examine carefully, I think one of the reasons why we tend to forget is because we are distracted. There are too many things in our head that we cannot focus. So the 10 virgins, the 10 foolish virgins, they were distracted. They did not prepare well. So it's a distraction. And that is the opposite of that is being vigilant, aware. Aware in the present. I often quote Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle. I think the book The Power of Now. The Power of Now. And he said that in his first book he says 88% of what's in our head are useless things. And later, I think it was Richard Rohr who wrote to him and said, I think you're wrong. I think it's higher than 88%. And Richard Rohr mentioned that in the second book, Eckhart Tolle, he said 98% of what's in our head are useless. Can you imagine? 98% of what's in our head are useless things. And this is how he drafts it. He says, our mind is only capable of doing two things. We are constantly reprocessing the past. Constantly. I wish I didn't do that. I wish, all kinds of regrets. And the other thing that we do in our head is anxious about the future. Anxious. But being in the present is a real challenge and so difficult. Very difficult. That's why in this movie, Panda, what is his name of this movie?
Kung Fu Panda.
Huh? Kung Fu Panda. He says, the guru there said, the guru said, the past is no, I think I'm distracted.
The past is history.
Huh? The past is history. The future is mystery. The present is a gift. That's why it's called present. How to be present? And one of the clear example that manifests your lack of vigilance and lack of awareness is when you get off your chair at mealtime. If you create noise, it's because you're not vigilant. You don't know what you're doing, so you create noise. When you stir coffee and you create noise because you're not in the present, your mind is somewhere else. Thomas Merton one time asked the Buddhist guru, he says, how do you form monks? How do they become contemplatives? And the Guru says, unless you can close the door quietly, you cannot be a contemplative. So creating noise is a sign that you are not vigilant, you are not concentrated, you are not in the present. Okay. And then the other word is being diligent. Being diligent is the word. And again, it's related to being diligent. You know exactly what you want to do. It's clear to you what you want to do. That's being diligent. So, this reading tells us very important things about what it means to be a disciple. Diligent and diligent. But there's something surprising in this text. What is surprising about this text is the inversion. The social inversion. In what way? The master, it says here, should he come in the second or third watch, he find them prepared this way. Blessed are those servants. And then he will mention that he will, I think that will be for tomorrow, he will say he will prepare food for them. Sit them at the table. That's tomorrow's inversion. Wow. It's the master who will prepare the table and make the servants. He prepares meal for the servants. But that's the inversion. What does that remind you of? The Magnificat. The Magnificat. I was just looking at the different translations of the Magnificat in the Bible. This is the beautiful one. It says, scattered the proud, brought down the rulers, lifted up the humble, filled the hungry, the rich sent away empty. That's social inversion. And that is already portrayed in the reading, where the master is the one who prepares meal. You know, it's very hard. If we ask ourselves, where do we see this reality of social inversion at the level of society? Or maybe even at the level of our ministry. How do you think this will be manifested? It's worth thinking. Do we witness or do we observe any social inversion in our ministry, in our society? And how do we support social inversion? Maybe in our little ways, we can. I was just looking at the Oblate TV, and you have a statement there about Oblates close to the people. Close to the people. That's one of social inversion. That we are close to the people. But mind you, that has to be more specific. Okay. Can we name one particular really poor person?
Please don't forget to like and subscribe
to our YouTube channel,
Oblate TV.